So we did have like a little bit of the case at the end of the last stream. Just like sort of a little intro thing. And the plan is to get through this case and hopefully not get hung up for about 20 minutes like I did last time. That was a little bit being a little bit one head yesterday. In my defense, I think it was kind of silly that I had to like actually turn over the leaflet and then click on it for it to become evidence. I kind of figured that just looking at it would be evidence enough, but that was not the case. As we learned. Yeah, that'd be kind of nice if every case rounds out to being like roughly 2 or so hours. Give or take, depending on how well you play and figure everything out. So then we can finish this up by Friday. Well, on Friday. So yeah, we're apparently going to be going bowling. Because Sherlock Holmes
This
loves
suit
a good
isn't
bowl.
appropriate for where we're going.
Oh, I need to get fancy. Gotta change clothes, folks. A sailor outfit, a morning gown, festive attire. I don't think it's that one. A doctor outfit, a bandit outfit, a pastor outfit, sportswear, casual suit. To the makeup team. Look at that, we can adjust ourselves in various ways. I want the pipe. Give me the Sherlock pipe. Let's go over here. There we go. Now I feel like a detective. I feel like I can solve the case and put the Scooby-Doo gang to shame.
Shouldn't you dress for the game?
Okay, apparently they don't want me to guess like that. Dress like that. I mean, it's a club, so I thought they want me to, dress in a sort of casual suit. I don't know, sailor outfit? So I'll look like a sailor?
Shouldn't you dress for the game?
Oh, I guess not. Okay, wait. How is he dressed up? He's dressed a little bit. Okay, we're playing bowling, so maybe I have to be in the sporting outfit? Oh no, didn't I try that? I think I tried this one, right?
Holmes, are you really sure you want to wear that?
This? Everyone dresses like this at the club.
That should be a sight worth seeing. I only hope
Okay,
our
there we
charming
go.
neighbor
There we
won't
go. That
spot you
works.
like that. Shouldn't we hurry to the bowling club?
Oh yeah, no problem, wizard. sorry about your internet. Internet troubles, I hate them. I mean, even before I started streaming myself, I hated whenever the internet was having problems. Thanks for stopping by, though, and thank you. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I think you've only got like 3 more hours, so embrace it. I've still got 8 hours of my Tuesday. Pigeons.
Mr. Holmes.
Got some
You
burbs.
played very well yesterday. I'm obliged to you, Sir Charles. I play many outdoor sports. That's the key to my success. My friend Dr. Watson has decided to join me. Really. Mr. Holmes, would you like to see the first prize? A rare stone Mayan quiche calendar.
Mayan quiche?
Indeed. Their legendary king, Tekun Uman, has his statue just behind you. Although this one is a cast metal copy.
That?
Well, since only members may enter the clubhouse, we have exhibited the calendar outside. Please, explore.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, I guess it's important to note that not every case has to be like a murder. I forgot about that last game too, because the first case was a murder.
The statue of Tekun Uman.
Sometimes it is just like something important got stolen or something.
I'd like to see the Mayan calendar.
Tuesday,
It's a
innit?
beautiful work of art.
Got some bloody trees here.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad you are my opponent for the final. People...
Arthur the Invincible.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, are you ready to begin the final game? I still need some time.
I guess we'll say no, because
Good luck, Holmes.
I lost to the quarterfinals, but the green was wet.
maybe there's still something to investigate.
So, are you ready?
Ah, why not? Let's just get it
Yes. Let's start the finals.
on. If there is anything to find, it's probably inconsequential. Beat your opponent by landing bowls as close as possible to the white marker bowl. I don't like. Is it supposed to be like that right there? Like, are we trying to get close to the ends there? Okay, they apparently didn't like that one. What, like, they expect too much out of people that aren't British. Like, I don't understand this game. Like, is that good? Oh wait, am I trying to get as close to the one that I just placed, the white one now? Okay, that's the point of the game. Okay, now okay, I just didn't get like why I rolled the ball, but like I feel like it would just be placed like on like objectively, like someone would go place it there. I guess that's not how it works. All right, that one should get kind of close again, I think. Yeah. Get fucked, Arthur. No one likes your TV show. This guy isn't even trying. Unless he is, and I'm losing, so I'm not doing it right. Some very intense Sherlock Holmes action going on right now. Oh. Look at it. Okay, so actually hitting the ball like instantly nets you some points. Why is this called, like, is this how bowling originally was? Like, was this bowling before, like, bowling with pinballs was a thing? Oh, look, that one was pretty poggers. Got nothing on me, Arthur. So, like... This should be super close, I think. Almost hit it. Went a little bit further, though. Not good enough, Arthur. Let's go like... Nice. Oh, they didn't like that one. They were not fans. Sherlock Holmes was 6 points. Yeah, that was a little bit too off to the side. I gave it about enough power, though. Are we going to bump balls? We're not bumping balls. Like about... a little more power and a little bit over, a little more over. Ooh, you missed it, Arthur. A little more over, a little more power. Oh, that's probably a little bit too much power. Oh no. I bumped it. We touch balls. Yeah. Sherlock. Let's go. So I imagine this is the last round, so I imagine I'm winning this. So not over quite as much because the ball has moved. I'll need to give it a little more juice. That was about the same, I think. One past it. So mine were all still closer. For the most part. 9. Who ways spend the first 15 minutes of a case? Lawn Bowls
Congratulations on your
champion.
game, Mr. Holmes. Exceptional. The awards ceremony will be tomorrow morning. See you then to receive your prize of the calendar. I trust you will be there as well, Dr. Watson?
Unfortunately, I'll be unable to attend tomorrow. Duty calls.
Ah, what a pity.
Let's go home.
Is salty there, Arthur? Where are you?
My congratulations, Mr. Holmes.
My congratulations, Mr. Holmes.
Those little sandwiches are delicious.
Oh, they
The
come.
first prize, the Mayan Quiche calendar.
So it's gonna be stolen. Right? It's gonna be stolen. It's not gonna be there anymore. I have to figure out why it's not. So we can go look it up in the archives, I guess. Learn a little bit more about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then if it does end up being stolen, it's a whole question: who stole it and why?
Oh, Daddy!
Hello, Mr. Bouvier.
Hello, Mr. Holmes.
Well, Caitlin?
Your costume!
Oh, don't you like it?
Oh, I do!
Caitlin, come on. Show some respect for
Kids
your
these
father.
days, no respect. No respect. What are we investigating about you? Eccentric jewelry. Love token visits a prisoner. No ring on No, I'd say that's more cult. This guy looks like a bit of like a pentagram. There's really nothing on her face. I feel like most of the time when you investigate people, there's something on their face. Wait, scars? That's... Suicide attempt? Just go kind of, Character portrait complete. Okay, both those were... Alice. Sherlock Holmes' new neighbor, who's a young and beautiful, seems to relate to well to children, but not married. A love token that she wears alludes to her connection with the criminal world. She suffered a difficult past. Her scars indicate she survived a suicide attempt. Judging by her jewelry, she is interested in occult science.
You know, Father, Miss Alice was telling me all about her travels. She has already toured the world with her own father.
Your daughter is exquisite.
And just to think that she was aboard the Orient Express when it was attacked. What a dream.
Indeed.
She's so creative and imaginative. And that reminds me, would you allow Caitlin to visit me so that she can practice playing the piano?
Refuse, blame piano music.
What a poor choice of instruments. I hate the piano. I'd rather her not.
Oh, Father, why did you say that?
Caitlin, we are neighbours. We'll meet again. Until then, I shall leave you with this book.
Thank you, Miss Alice.
Suppose maybe not supposed to be too trusting. Boink. Archives. Iron calendar. And that's probably going to be over here. Here we go. Mine's the wizard. Guatemala, heavily big of its power and influence around 600 AD. So agricultural, pottery, hieroglyphic writing, calendar creation, and mathematics, the behind them, and its astonishing record of architecture and symbol. This one nation of pre-conquest Guatemala was the Quiches, known as the Maya Quiches. The name of this people means many trees taken from the forest highlands in which they inhabited. Hecuman was the last ruler and the Quiches king who fought with his army against the Spanish conquerors in the Battle of where his chest was fatally pierced by the sword of Don Pedro de Alvarado. According to the legend, even in death, Hecuman continued to protect his
Here it is.
knowledge. And I'm go clubbing. Classic Sherlock Holmes, always getting wild at the clubs. So what are we going to discover? Murder?
That's who did it. It killed Zacharias. Calm yourself now, Sir Charles.
Oh,
You've had a
someone
shock.
is dead.
Let the police do their duty.
What can a mere inspector like you do about it? You don't know anything.
A mere inspector? Pshaw. And now here comes Mr. Holmes.
Lestrade, are you here to receive a prize as well?
Very amusing, Holmes. You can go home. The ceremony's been cancelled. We've got a murder scene here.
Really? And to think I only came here for my prize.
I know, Holmes. I saw your name on the list of finalists. So go away.
You're not going to congratulate me?
What? Do you really think I'm that naive? You turning up out of the blue and then bam, a murder? There's a surprise.
Oh, you're making a spectacle of yourself, Lestrade. Let's just pretend that I'm a simple consultant, your humble assistant.
Oh, all right then. A club member, Mr. Zacharias Greystoke, was killed at around 4 in the morning. There. Now don't mess around.
I promise that I won't, Inspector.
Spoiler alert, he's going to mess around.
What do you make of the facts?
It's quite clear. The murderer intended to steal the Mayan calendar. He was caught by Zacharias Greystoke. He then took up the first weapon that came to hand, the statue's spear, and killed Greystoke. Then he fled, just as Sir Charles was coming out of the club. Unfortunately, we've been unable to find any trail beyond the club's wall. It's as if the murderer vanished into thin air. Well, take a look for yourself.
Interesting.
Traces of metal on stone. Traces of metal on stone.
Sherlock mode active. Oh, that is
This spear
a
came from the
stab.
statue on the pedestal. Dry leaves. They make a noise. Zacharias probably walked across them.
May have placed the leaves in tension.
The case is scratched and dented. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855. This watch is valuable and old. It's been through a great deal. Zacharias' folder with some documents. These drawings represent the Mayan symbols.
Suppose that's it for the body. Oh, no, it's not. Isn't something? Oh, there we go. The pocket had something.
Money was left inside the wallet. All
take the
valuables were
money.
left on the victim. The strike was powerful and well aimed. If I believed Lestrade, this Mayan calendar was the reason behind the murder.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Anything to notice with our...
Sir Charles, are you able to tell me in detail what happened?
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Well, to prepare for the awards ceremony, I decided to spend the night here at the club. I was sitting alone at my desk when I suddenly heard a loud, metallic sound and a terrible shout. I hurried outside and well, I found the body of Zacharias. And I swear it, I saw the statue of Tekun Uman running away.
You saw the
Probably
statue
someone dressed
run.
up.
It was dark, but yes, I'm sure of it. It was running, and it was making the most horrible metal sounds.
Someone
it
was
did
like
so.
in a,
And can't you
like a
see,
suit
the
of armor,
pedestal is now
probably.
empty.
Did you know the victim?
Yes, of course. It was Zacharias Greystoke. He was a club member and an excellent bowler.
But why was he here so early in the morning?
Oh, I don't know.
Sir Charles, where did the Mayan calendar come from?
It was donated anonymously. We received it shortly before the tournament, with a letter asking that it be awarded to the winner.
Is the calendar valuable?
Is the calendar valuable?
Not really. It has historical value, of course, but to be truthful with you, Mr. Holmes, it isn't worth very much.
May I go in the clubhouse?
It's members only. I cannot authorize anyone unless that person has a written warrant from the police.
I see how it is. Simple fire. No, I'm going to change this. Socially active and politically active. Correct. 500 brain right here. Jeez, 3 more people to meet in the current case. Now we have the clubhouse, only members. I suppose Lestrade could, what do I have to do? Get a warrant from him.
Did you search the clubhouse?
What for? The murder took place outside. You're still here?
Can I help you, Mr. Holmes?
A piece of the statue's mounting rod. Pieces from the pedestal. The iron mounting rod is broken. The surface is damaged. Traces of metal on stone. It looks like the statue broke away from its pedestal. And what about the statue?
No idea yet. I imagine the thief must have taken it somehow.
Right, so they were thieves, and they were very well equipped?
Yes, must have been. Then there's also Sir Charles's version, but
Please, go on.
he said this morning that he was alone at his desk when he heard a shout.
I think he was
went
involved
outside and saw
somehow.
Greystoke lying on the ground, and believe it or not, he said that there was no one else on the green that night but the statue itself running away.
You mean that the statue might have killed the victim? Interesting.
Absurd, more like. Besides, it was dark and foggy.
So, somewhat like your version, then.
The call out.
You're still here?
More dialogue with him, maybe?
A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation.
Maybe we can't get into the clubhouse, but maybe there'll be like something outside of it.
Only club members have access.
Sherlock vision really. No. Another constable.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Oh.
A broken branch. Somebody jumped into the tree and then over the wall. No, it wasn't like that.
Okay, now we have to recreate this. Sir Charles emerges from a club. No, let's say he steps on the leaves first. Statue throws a spear. Felled by the attack, Sir Charles emerges. The statue runs away.
It looks as if Zacharias was killed the moment he approached the calendar, and killed by the spear from Tukunuman's statue that jumped from its stand and escaped over the wall.
What's with all the leaves that apparently... It must have been so that they heard something. So we have dialogue. Either him or the other guy.
A murder at my club.
Lestrade.
What a disaster for our reputation.
Well, Holmes, your conclusions as my consultant?
My conclusions are approximate to Sir Charles's testimony.
Oh dear, you think the statue did it?
Everything points to the fact that the spear was thrown from the pedestal, and Mr. Greystoke appeared not to notice the killer.
Indeed. The journalists will be ecstatic about your version.
I would like to examine the victim and take a look at his belongings.
Oh, you've amused me at least, Mr. Holmes. Very well. I'll grant you authorization for the examination at Scotland Yard, but nothing more.
And his belongings at Scotland Yard. I'm thinking today, like, he's got to be in on it somehow. Maybe he didn't do the murder, but it seems like all be a plot to steal the statue, since the calendar is apparently not really worth anything. Is this the big brain stream? Yes, it is, Y27. The most biggest brain stream you're ever going to see on Twitch.tv.
Thank you for coming so quickly, Watson. Lestrade already has the victim's body in the autopsy room.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
Autopsy
Good day,
room,
Mr.
let's
Holmes.
go. Oh, not this room. I think it's down in the morgue we go. Hoggers.
Red eye. It looks like a serious infection. The coroner mentions in his report some specific cardiac and digestive system damage.
It was a powerful throw. The spear pierced right through the body. This is where the spear entered the body. The murderer aimed for the heart. The weapon must have been thrown by a strong and skilled person. These scars are old.
Interesting.
Traces of alcohol were found in the stomach. Apparently Zacharias had been drinking before his death. I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
So I bet whoever we're looking for, we're going to be looking for someone that has a strong arm. Someone to be capable of throwing
This
a
spear
spear.
came from the statue on the pedestal. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855. An ordinary pencil.
The
Money
pencil
left
is
inside the wallet.
suspicious. Ordinary pencil? I don't think so. Oh, the documents.
Zacharias had already... The Mayan calendar. Here's a chance to have a closer look. Interesting. What are the symbols here? I'll need to redraw them. I could use this dictionary to translate the calendar's glyphs. They are the symbols that were drawn on the Mayan calendar. The papers from Zacharias' folder. They can help us to translate the Mayan message.
Do we maybe have to go in order? Oh, there we go. Chosen god equals you. I'd be down. You'd be a pretty cool god. I would like heal people for you and stuff. Pretty cool. There. This guy, and then this is. Okay. First. First to be anyone. First to be anyone to find sacred temple. To meet death. Sealed statue. Every chosen to descend.
No, I think I've missed something here.
Oh boy. First to appear, anyone. Wait, cursed to be anyone to disturb sacred temple, to meet death, sealed statue, every chosen.
No, I think I've missed something here.
Every god to ascend.
No, I don't think so. I should pay more attention
And
to
hey there,
details.
Puskus. Hope you're doing well. First to be anyone to disturb sacred home. Prison statue. Only jurors chosen to
No, I
descend.
think I've. No, I. No, I think. No, I think I've missed something here.
What's all this then? Hello, Lamardi. Go on your Tuesday, huh? Oh no, I don't want next to that. I think cursed to cursed to be anyone to disturb sacred home, to meet death, be awarded risen statue only god to descend.
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details. I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
Only chosen to fly.
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
To meet fate sealed. Statue.
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
Hey Donna, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good time lurking. A good mystery is indeed a good thing. Can I get a shout out for Donna real quick, by the way? She's also a streamer. And if you're not following her, she has a really nice chill stream. If you like me, you should like her. Same with Lamarty and Beepsaw, both of them. I love the two of them as well. Well, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to if this is supposed to be like an entire message or what. Like, I think it's supposed to be cursed. I think that's right. Like cursed to be, like curses to anyone who disturbs sacred something. And then, like, to meet Faith, Master Statue. Like, the latter half, I'm like, not sure. Meet Death, Risen?
I don't think so. I should pay more attention.
And also, like, I don't know, like, if it's right or not.
No, I think...
Because it doesn't tell me when any of these are right.
I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details.
Cursed to be nobody. Cursed to be nobody. To disturb sacred temple. To meet death. Sealed statue. Only chosen to descend.
No, I think I've missed something.
Maybe that's it, like, cursed to be nobody, to disturb. Find.
I don't think so.
Cursed to be nobody, to
more attention
find
to details.
sacred temple. Meet fate, sealed statue. Only chosen to descend. Every chosen?
I don't think so. No, I think
I think
I've
statue
missed
is
something
right.
here. No,
Meet death. Ported.
No, I think... I don't think so. I should pay more
Cursed to
attention
be
to
nobody,
details.
to find sacred home, to meet faith. Prison statue. Only God to descend?
No, I think I've missed something here.
I also feel like the hieroglyphics themselves don't really help. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to look at this and be like, oh yeah, that looks like it should be a symbol that represents God. I'm not gonna get stuck on this, so we can skip this.
Cursed will be anyone who disturbs the sacred temple. They will meet their death by the risen statue. Only the chosen will have mercy. It's not only a calendar, it's a curse.
Okay, that works.
Zacharias Greystoke, a member of the club, was killed as the curse decreed. It's possible that the link between Zacharias and the curse is at the archaeological club. I'll need a search warrant.
We did the chat. I kind of don't care about sort of like brute forcing some stuff. I just hear more for the experience. That's what I'm thinking. I think we got a false statement.
We'll need to get a search warrant.
Alright, whomst that we talk to get a warrant?
Can I help you, Mr. Holmes? Good day to you, Mr. Holmes.
Bam. Hello. Warrant now, thank you.
Aren't you supposed to be investigating those cases of yours instead of bothering me?
Good day to you too, Inspector. I have a small favor to ask of you, a search warrant to investigate the murder at the club.
No, no, and no.
Rude. Time to investigate. Bags in their eyes, a lack of sleep. Expensive perfume. Woman's handwriting. Because, you know, you can just tell the gender of someone based on their writing. We all know that. Hangover or unwell? I think unwell. Oh. Wine? If it's wine, that means he's probably hungover, not unwell. Character portrait complete. Much better than last time. I cut them wrong. Mrs. Robin, the wife, councilman. We're looking at the shit.
Since I'm without the warrant, I should find something else to do. By the way, do you know if Sir Robin is currently in town?
I have no idea. And why on earth should you even think that I might know that?
Well, I believe I may have solved a case about, let's say, a salacious inspector.
No, it's not what you think. Nothing dishonorable happened. Go on then. Take your warrant.
So
Warrant.
he refused to give you the search warrant?
Oh no, I've got it. I won't need you for a while now, Watson. I'll see you later.
Yeah, fuck off, Watson. Now let's go back to the club. Yeah, if you didn't know, in the actual Sherlock Holmes novels, I'm pretty certain that Holmes like did cocaine quite a lot, and other like similar stimulants. Which is also why sometimes you see it mentioned in game, movies, and such. It's like it is an actual thing, not like a sober individual. Time to search the lounge. I got a warrant, bitch.
Sir Charles, I have a search warrant. I would like to take a look inside the clubhouse.
British people be like,
I see.
Sir
Here's the
Charles,
key,
I
but
have a
do
warrant.
protest.
Bit rude to protest, isn't it?
I heard that Zacharias was killed by the statue.
Got a bloody murder here. First things first.
Zacharias Greystoke. Guatemala, 1881. I don't think this is a
Guatemala, so he'd actually been to Guatemala before.
I wonder who this man is. It's Sir Charles Yellingham, the director of the club.
Empty space.
The photograph appears to have been faked or damaged. I'll take it.
Is it Bulgaria time? Oh yeah. Time to go to Bulgaria. Everyone knows that Bulgaria and Guatemala are basically neighbors. Appears to be everything of note on that side. Look at the stones that
Late
he's wearing.
Mr. Bromsby's collection. The late Mr. Blinkhorn's collection. The late Mr. Smith's collection. The late Mr. Sutherland's collection.
Lots of collections.
The late Mr. Roberts' collection. This metal globe is very impressive.
Lisbon.
Some bits are missing.
Hmm.
Some bits are missing.
Specifically, like over like Guatemala, South America.
Some bits are missing.
Wait. That's... Oh, that's north. That's like Europe, like Spain-ish area.
These antiques look quite valuable. It appears that it's a part of a gold statue from Guatemala. Solid gold. It's worth a fortune. This piece has been cleanly and intentionally cut.
Interesting.
These trunks have just arrived. They're from Zacharias Greystoke's antique collection. Interesting. The men who own these collections are all dead.
I wonder why they're all dead. Kind of suspicious, right? Sherlock Holmes. You can bang the gong. So what evidence do we have? We have some dialogue. We can perform an analysis. That's the key that we just got. Dear Sir Charles, be advised we have successfully transferred a new tranche to your club's account. However, the payment period has been reduced to 1 month and a sum credit of £1,000 due to previous overdue amounts. If you wish to review your account, you should contact the bank manager directly, Mr. Black, bookkeeper for Lloyd's Bank. Hey, Adrastus. Hope you're doing well today. March 1881. James Ness and Sons Jewelers, Sir Charles Yellingham. We acknowledge receipt of your item, namely 458 grams of solid gold from a part gold Guatemalan statue. We agree to purchase this item. Monies will be paid within 48 hours from receipt of this letter. Although this transaction is entirely legal, we do assure you that it will remain confidential. So we went to this club where Sherlock Holmes was playing some bowling. And then one of the members of the club was killed at like 4 in the morning. And a statue, the person that was here claims that the statue like ran away from the scene of the crime. He died by having a spear thrown through his chest. And from what we're seeing here, it seems that various members of the club have died and just their collection remains. So it's kind of looking like something suspicious may be going on with the club owner, who was the only person that was here when the murder happened.
The 50th birthday of Lord Stevenson.
The statue also appears to be valuable. If it is the same statue that ran away, then it has like a lot of gold on it.
Family.
I'm sorry, no, it's a statue of like the leader of the Mayans. What have we here? For Mr. Oliver, the company director of royal parties, organized the awards ceremony for our bowling club's most secret competition. The estimation of requirements for guest night: 20 cases of champagne, or champagne. Dinner for 40, reserved from the restaurant. A local music ensemble to provide entertainment. 30 flower arrangements for table decoration. Invitation cards for guests. I know this would be quite expensive, but please do allow me a period of grace to settle the payment. As I recall, you were so generous to grant on the previous occasion, thanking you in advance. That would be kind of the spear throwing one was kind of interesting. I wouldn't mind something like that again. I guess whether you once again late find the credit house and late fine 7 euros per 10s. 10 days. As a proposal, we agreed to season part of your club's collection in payment for the credit to be sold in private auction. All raised monies will be reversed against your credit account.
Interesting. It appears that the club is unable to pay its
So the
debts to
club
the
was
bank.
in debt. We agree. Yellingham, as I sit here in front of everyone, you cannot give away this calendar. I want to study it. We have to discuss this matter before the award ceremony. I've already warned the other one this. Oh, £7, 10 shillings. Okay, gotcha.
A message to
Thank
Sir
you.
Charles from Zacharias Greystoke, the victim.
More brainy. Sir Charles desired Greystoke's to have an order to his collection. I think something was important about his. Sir Charles had a time opportunity to be prepared for his visit. Is correct. I still say that's false. Sometimes we do weird things when we're typing, right? Unless there was anything over at the bar, I think that might have been everything. Now we got to do some talking. Always comes down to money, don't it?
Sir Charles, you informed me that you didn't know why Mr. Greystoke was here at such a time.
That's correct. I have no idea.
But in fact, you do. Mr. Greystoke wrote to you about him coming with another person to visit.
Ah, well, yes, that is right. He raised a scandal about the Mayan calendar, so he wanted to see me before the ceremony. But I don't know exactly what it was that he wanted, or who this other person he mentioned might have been.
You have a fine collection at your club, with one disturbing thing in common.
Oh, all the items are from our club members.
They're all dead.
But only from deceased members, including Mr. Greystoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but it is a rule of the club that all our members undertake to donate their personal collections to us in the event of their death. A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation.
So we successfully searched the lounge. So now we can perform an analysis on the photo. Because evidently someone was taken out of the photo. Or something was taken out. So I wonder if the other person mentioned is the person that did the killing? The whole, like, statue moving thing is still
It appears that
interesting.
part has been painted over. I need to find out what's underneath. Let's try.
Solvent.
I need a pipette.
I feel like it's gonna be the statue.
Let's gently remove the paint with a soft cloth.
No, it's a person. Who's this jabroni?
Aha. There's another person in the photograph.
And why were they painted over?
Is there anything I can do to help?
Look here. There's a person with a swollen eye who was concealed within this photograph. A dispute of some kind, do you think, Watson?
Possibly. But it appears to me a characteristic symptom of a rare tropical disease that is found in South and Central America.
South America! Brilliant, Watson!
Happy to help.
Is it deadly?
Well, there is a chance he survived.
I shall ask Sir Charles, but who knows what he'll say.
I have an idea. There is only one hospital for such illness. The Hospital for Tropical Diseases. I have friends who work there.
Oh, yes?
Well, the chances are slim, but I'll pay them a visit. If he's in London, they would have seen him.
Interesting. I just go to the club, see if he says anything about it. And then I guess, like, after that, Watson's probably gonna get back to us with that. Oh, I see. The cab loading screen. So, like, if I wanted to, the loading screen could be him just, like, sitting in a cab. Instead of just, like, that static screen. So what you gonna say, buddy?
I found this photograph on your wall. You're in it, but do you know who these men are? Particularly the gentleman with the swollen eye.
Oh, him. But that's poor Mr. Albiot. He died from fever during an expedition to Guatemala 14 years ago. We were searching a Mayan Quiche temple, but everything went wrong. We were unable to enter the temple, and the expedition ended in disaster. I'm here, and here is Zacharias. And there is Bernard Marley, another member. He's over there, near the pedestal. By the way, he's the fellow who built that terrible statue. He created it, must have been 10 years ago.
Okay, so the statue's not like a Mayan statue.
Albeit was
Something
a
that
club
he
member.
made.
Where is his collection?
Well, the devil if I know. We never did locate it.
Interesting. First second was real and aimed towards X. Simply the interpretation of events. So Charles is unaware of the existence of a curse. Opportunity doesn't make him a murderer. Is aware of the curse. He had the perfect opportunity. Sir Charles is guilty. He took advantage of the curse's legend in order to kill Zacharias Greystoke and so obtain a demanding legend. See, it could be, but that would also be a pretty short case. And there's still more investigating that we can do.
Poor Sir Charles. A crime at his club, it's a terrible thing.
Mr. Bernard Marley, I presume. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I have to ask you about an expedition to Guatemala.
Shh, not here. It's too dangerous. I'll give you my card. Visit me there where we can talk.
Okay, he probably believes in the curse. He's a little shit. I feel like Marley probably believes in the curse. Sir Charles probably doesn't. It kind of seems like it's pointing towards Sir Charles being involved, like probably the one that's behind it. But maybe more. I think more evidence is just going to like give us a greater idea of why he did it.
Sorry, I'm working. I can't open the door.
Excuse me, where is Grub Street?
I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's the street going up the hill, not far from here.
Gumble's Road.
Imagine not knowing the streets where you live.
Excuse me, where is Grub Street?
I don't know.
Cranny Street.
That's what they used to call me in high school. No, it drafts this. I was making that joke. You can't make the same joke. Illegal. Alright, we're going up the hill. Oh.
Hello there, my man. Is your boss in?
Ah, he's in his office. It's the door near the...
Door near the female statue.
Fresh scratches.
Oh, so this is his Marley. There we go. Yes, this is like his factory. Cool. So he like makes, or like he owns like a factory that makes statues and shit.
Hello there, my man. Is your boss in?
Sorry, I'm too busy to chat.
Something large and heavy was dragged here.
Suspicious. Mayan statues. Only 10 statues are available. Interesting business.
Mr. Holmes, you must forgive my escape at the club. It wasn't a safe place to talk.
And it's safer here.
Yes, better here. Not my office. I have secured my foundry, you know.
Ah, reassuring.
Let's check this guy out. Dirty collar. He's negligent. Amulets, protective. Yep. Like I was thinking, he definitely believes in the curse. He thinks it's real. Spectacles. Wide for work. Close to work, I think. Greasy hands, smell of oil. Or patches, leans frequently on the desk. And he's, yeah, like I'm still not too used to where I live just yet, so I kind of don't know anything like around the area. Injured finger. Works with rough objects. No, I want to go with for this. I want to go with work then. Imprecise. Damn it. I was wrong.
Did you know Zacharias Greystoke, the victim?
Yes, he was a brave friend. Such good karma until yesterday.
Do you recognize the unwell man in this photograph?
By Jove, albeit. Yes, that's him. The poor fellow met his end in Guatemala. He was struck down by a terrible disease.
You were friends?
Not really, but he was an active member and a courageous man.
Too courageous. You can't fight against the Quiche gods.
And what of the expedition? You were seeking a Mayan temple?
Yes, the temple of Tekun Uman. Another one of Charles's stupid ideas. We found it, but there was some kind of strange force that prevented us from entering. An evil aura. It was Tekun Uman's emanation. We could all feel it. Albied's disease worsened suddenly. There was nothing we could do. And now, with Zacharias' death, the curse has reawakened.
After 14 years?
Prophecies are timeless. Even in the beyond, there is no escape.
Prophecy.
Did Zacharias believe in the prophecy?
It's not a matter of belief, don't you understand? Zacharias was convinced that we could stop the curse by studying the calendar. What insanity!
So he must be the other one that was mentioned in the
Except
telegram.
He wanted us to visit the club and try to convince Charles to remove the calendar from the awards ceremony.
But you didn't go.
I knew Charles would refuse. Anyway, studying the calendar wouldn't help. Tekun Uman is far too powerful.
Your relationship with Charles Yellingham is...
Not friendly. Well, it is reciprocal. You know, most of his expeditions are failures because he is too focused on his hypothetical career to be in politics.
He has political ambition.
That would be an understatement. He has ambitions for the House of Lords, and the club is his means of achieving this. It's also the reason for his disastrous management. But he still succeeds in finding money. I wonder how.
What's your opinion on Tekun Uman's statue having disappeared?
I don't know, but I have nothing to do with it. Nothing.
Statue creation.
But in fact you do. You made the statue.
That's true. But it was 10 years ago. You can't blame me for that.
Don't you think so? After all, it is the statue that is responsible for killing.
No! It's Tekun Uman. But who could imagine that a simple statue replica would be chosen by Tekun Uman? Nobody. I have to leave you now. I've got paperwork to do. And we've spoken too much. He could hear us. Tekun Uman. Well, goodbye then.
Oh yeah, he's super believes in it. Didn't...
Apparently, Marley has built multiple statues of Tekun Uman.
Alright, so we can't go back into his office.
Fresh scratches. A furnace for melting metal. A drawing of Tekun Uman. No oxidation. This metal arm has never been outside. It's not part of the bowling club statue. This mechanism is quite modern. All the gears are of good quality. Strange to find it in a foundry. 2 large boxes which were inside the warehouse. They were taken to Bernard Marley's office. It's probable that the missing crates contained pieces of Tekun Uman's statue. Marley is hiding something inside his office. I'll have to visit it, but at night, and with Watson.
Interesting.
Sorry, I'm too busy to chat.
What if the statue was built in such a way that, like, sort of like it had the mechanisms to, like, throw the statue itself, you know? And then like the leaves would be like the indicator for if Marley was there to like set off the thing. Like so if whatever mechanism would allow the statue to like throw with force. We're probably gonna find out once we can actually like look at the statue. Like assuming that's what's in the office. Oh no, they're playing piano. Sherlock Holmes specifically requested this not happen.
Disobey me. Well, Holmes, I was inspired to... Oh, look here. The postman has made a mistake. He's delivered a letter addressed to Miss Alice.
Oh, he mistook 221B for 221C. Give it to me, Watson.
Swipe the mail.
What are you going to do with it, Holmes?
I need to finish here first.
Perform an analysis on the letter, okay. Okay, Holmes.
I can't help myself. I must open this letter. It would be easier to open this letter if I steam it. Let's prepare. Boil. I need to turn on the...
This is why I play Sherlock Holmes, to boil water. Is this like actually a thing to like open up a letter precisely so people won't see that people won't know you actually did it? You like steam it? I'm assuming it has to be, obviously, but still, never knew that. So you find that you moved in and settled yourself next to him. You are a bold one. He will fascinate you, but be cautious of him all the same. I'm ready to tell you that I found your father's boat. It is quite damaged, but still afloat. Nice rhyme. You can use it if you wish. You must know that your father was like a brother to me. If there is anything in any way that I can do to help you, please let me know. Anything, whatever risk it may involve.
Miss Alice planned to live here because of me. I need to have a talk with her as soon as possible. Let's reseal it. Let's reseal it, as if it was never... Let's...
I need glue? Oh, that's the glue, or the wax, I guess.
That's it.
Don't stop playing, Kate. I'm going to take some air on the balcony for a few minutes.
I need to speak with Miss Alice first. She's on the balcony.
Hello, teddy bear. I forgot that was she's staying in Watson's office. I was like, aw, Watson's got a teddy bear. That's cute. Balcony time.
How about telling me why you came here in the first place?
Mr. Holmes, why do you ask? I hardly think that I'm accountable to you.
Since you extended an invitation to my daughter against my wishes, I believe that you are.
So said the father, cloaked in all his severity. My word, you almost frightened me.
You won't say that. Very well. Ask Caitlin to come home now.
Oh, poor child, let her play. Such insouciance. So useful for covering up disturbing secrets. And since you intend to hide the truth from her...
What?
We all have our secrets.
You...
But don't worry, Mr. Holmes. Caitlin is a sensitive child, and I like her enormously.
Alice, come back in. I can do it. See? You're wonderful.
I like to think that the feeling is mutual.
Fun fact, a while back, I kind of wanted to try to learn to play like the keyboard / piano.
I have to go inside now.
I ended up going back to trying to draw instead and did that.
They just
Somewhat
keep coming
successfully.
and coming, and we don't even know what they are. We don't know anything.
Yo, Drew, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate
Holmes,
that.
I entirely forgot. There's a man corresponding to the photograph who is a regular
If any
visitor
mods
at
are
the
here, if
Hospital
you
for
give
Tropical
Drew a shout out,
Diseases.
please.
His name is James Byron.
Are you sure? That's fantastic.
And we can visit him, but you should disguise yourself first. I'll introduce you as my colleague.
And how's your stream? Were you doing another Ocarina of Time bingo thing?
This suit isn't appropriate for where we're going.
We're just investigating some murders as Sherlock Holmes. Guy got pierced through the back, through the heart by apparently a statue. Died by a spear. Pretty epic. Alright, if we're going to a hospital, we should probably have a doctor's outfit. I feel like that makes some logical sense, does it not?
Holmes, we have to go to the hospital.
Someone from Ontario is calling me, apparently. Not answering that. I'd like a good hospital visit.
Oh, Dr. Watson, may I help you?
Hello, Baird. My colleague and I are here to see Mr. Byron.
Ah, Byron. Yes, he's in a bad way. You'll find him in a cubicle on the window side.
Patients visit this department for treatment and then return home.
So this Byron guy apparently has a disease, a tropical, like a rare tropical disease. And we think it may be somehow related to this case. Is he missing an arm? He's missing
Mr.
an arm.
Byron?
More doctors? Please. I've just received my treatment. I need to rest a while before I leave.
Yeah, that is definitely the diseased eye. Bound in chains, mark of disease. Snap right arm. Crowded markets. Smell of opium. No, that's gotta be bound in chains. Is he being chained up? Yeah, that's correct. Being chained up. That is interesting. 45 years old. Archaeologist, ex-member of the Archaeological Club. Believed to be diseased. During South America. He suffered disease affected his eye. He lost his arm many years ago under unknown circumstances. He has a drug dependency and regularly visits an opium den near a crowd market. He has chain marks upon his body.
We would like to ask you some questions about an expedition that took place 14 years ago.
An expedition? What expedition? You're wrong. I've never left London.
That's fucking wrong. Bitch. Trying to lie to me.
Is it not you in this photograph from Guatemala?
Guatemala? Checuna, man. Dr. Baird. Come here quickly. I don't feel well.
What on earth is going on? Please, calm down.
I'm sorry, my dear colleagues, but Dr. Brunt is waiting to give Mr. Byron a private consultation. You can wait here.
Kenzo, this is getting a little bit deeper.
Holmes? Weren't you paying attention? We have to wait, but we'll take advantage of the situation.
This address is almost invisible.
Possible for pickle disease to Mr. Byron, address Street 21B. Mr. Byron, Dr. Brunt's please inform your department on 25th November. Please aim to arrive for the early morning. Dr. Baird.
He recently purchased Chinese tobacco.
And he does have a drug dependency. Opiums.
What should we do next?
He recently... Patients...
See that? Okay, since it's not green, that's telling me there's like something else here.
Patients...
At least I think. I don't see anything on it though. Still over here.
That isn't our man.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Aha, here we go.
Our man passed by a circus.
Passed by a circuit.
Oh, you're still here.
To go see the
Obviously.
clown?
We're waiting for Mr. Byron. Is he not with you?
No, the gentleman left directly after his consultation. Oh, he forgot to collect his belongings.
Holmes, it seems that Albeit has escaped. Obviously. And he knows that we are aware of his true identity. Quickly. I know how to find him.
Visit his house? Oh, we can, I'm assuming search the map and or we're going to grab Toby. Means you guys to play as the dog. I had to play as a dog last time too. That's interesting. Theoretically, I could have ended this case like about 30 minutes ago if I just wanted to do like the quickest thing. I feel like that's gotta be wrong. Or if it is right, there's like more evidence into like why exactly it was Charles that did it. But I'm starting to think, looking more at Marley. Marley seems suspicious now.
I do hope that bone has no connection to Watson's medical practice.
Search the map.
Thanks to the information I obtained at the hospital, I can now deduce where Albeit is hiding. We know that Albeit paid a visit to an opium den, a crowded market, and a circus. He also put... Let's find a place in London where all four elements are close together.
No, because that's missing one. It's missing the circus. It doesn't have circuits. No, it's missing the tobacco. It's in the circuits. Doesn't have the circuit. Ah, there we go.
Now we need to find a street name ending in OOK.
Okay, Brook Street.
Here it is. 21D Brook Street. Watson, I believe we found Albeit's flat.
Gaming. So I wonder if what is Albeit's connection? I don't think he orchestrated this. Unless he's like at least like faking being sick or something. Aside from the arm. Well, also if he's missing an arm, there's like no way he threw the spear. I still think it's like... Oh.
Do you hear that? Quick! We have to open the store.
The door's too strong and the lock is too solid to break with bare hands. The door's too strong and the lock is too solid to break with bare hands.
Axe. Gonna have to ask him a question. We did it. What? Who is throwing a spear at me? Oh shit. Dude, right in the neck. Brutal.
This table could serve as cover. This table could serve as cover.
If I cut those ropes, the curtains will fall and block the attacker's view.
Watson, I'll try to reach those curtains to close them. Cover me.
What? Why'd he die? Okay, I guess I just kept shooting.
Watson, cover me.
Like, I don't get if that wants me to hold it or click it.
Watson, cover me.
Alright, I'm holding it. Okay, holding it is not what you do.
Watson, cover me.
Oh, I see. I'm supposed to keep on clicking it. Gaming. Oh shit. I did not press D fast enough. They're like a solid gold statue. It's very intense. Okay. You want to move out of cover there, Sherlock? Or does want me to like look at something? I mean, last time I had me go into Sherlock mode to like look for something. Okay, I have clicked every button on my keyboard. Oh.
Watson, come here. He's behind the screen.
I guess there's that too. What if he's got a robot arm? The next bit of the case here, he's got a little robot arm.
A statue was once here. Now it's missing. The iron mounting rod is broken. The surface is damaged.
No! Don't kill me!
Calm down. It's over now. It's gone.
You? Oh. But why are you here? You're not doctors, are you?
No. Well, you're half right. Shall we remove these masks? Your true name is Albeit, is it not? You were a member at Charles Yellingham's club.
Yes, I was.
What happened?
Can you tell us what happened here?
After your visit at the hospital, I quickly returned home. I was lying there on the sofa and felt an evil presence in the room.
An evil presence?
Never mind. It's probably the fever.
Or perhaps a living statue?
Yes. It was one of the double statues. I saw its shadow. I believed that it was searching for me, that it wanted to kill me. It was horrible.
As in Zacharias' murder, the statue came to life when its intended victim appeared in front of it. I must examine your residence. It may hold some clues. Tell us about your expedition to Guatemala 14 years ago?
It was in my former life.
What really happened there? You were said to have died.
I was ill with a terrible fever. I asked them to leave me there. I can't remember how. I only have flashes of memory. But by some miracle, I survived. I left an eye and one arm behind. It took me time. But at last, I managed to return to London.
You are aware of Zacharias' murder, are you not?
Yes, and quite aptly, I read that he was killed with a spear.
Aptly?
Well, he practiced archaeology almost as though it were a sport, seeking adrenaline. Imagine his state of adrenaline when he died, him being the prey.
And who would have been the hunter?
Take a new man? Whoever, whatever. It'll soon be over for me at any rate.
Why do you use a false name?
That expedition signaled the end of my career. And my very life as I'd known it. I changed my name and my address. Now I'm weak and useless and alone. I'm a walking dead man.
Not for long.
Perhaps this was it. It was my curse to fade away little by little. Tekunu man's revenge.
There's a locked door on the first floor. May I have the key for it?
All right, but there's nothing interesting inside.
We'll be the judges of that. Now we have some...
This bed is very small.
Brazil, Sao Paulo, April 15th. Claudio João Inácio de Silva gave full rights and freedom to Albia Dyke and Bao Udambo. Let's stay for him. Send it. Yes, I did say your name. I hope I pronounced it properly. I think I did my best. My love, I understand your pain, but please know that my decision was made only to protect you. How can I return to the real world? Or if anyone should discover the terrible shame of this failed expedition and my enslavement, it would dishonor our son's name forever. It would be better that my memory remains in Tekunuman's temple. I came back to see you for the last time. I intend to die alone. My precious collections, my lifetime's result of archaeology. One friend of mine who is a bailiff will help me handle the sales. You'll receive all their income. Please try not to be unhappy. My death will be a release. I have made arrangements for my burial. Goodbye to you, my dears. I hope that you may forgive me, and you are able to finally lead happy lives, my only...
Albiet's wife and son, I presume.
Family of gamers. Oh. I was going to say it looked like there's a little hidden compartment here. There we go.
This model forms a part of another, larger model. The interior seems well designed, but I cannot see it properly. This model forms a part of another, larger model. 1894. This model was created after the expedition to Guatemala.
I wonder if Marley made that.
There's a little bed in the small room. It's been used.
Well, it is for my son Gulliver. After my official death, my wife and he left for Glasgow. Upon my return, I installed this room.
So they know about you?
My boy Gulliver visits occasionally. But I wonder, what is a life with a crippled father? They will lose me again.
Mr. Albeit, what is this?
How? It's impossible. How did you find it?
Answer me.
I'm Sherlock Holmes, bitch.
I built a model of
I find
Tekunuman's
shit.
temple. We stored it inside the club's globe before leaving for the expedition. I've no idea if it's still there. While in Guatemala,
So that's
I
why
had
the globe
dreams
has
about a
missing bits and
part,
pieces on it.
a pyramid. Then, when we entered the temple, I experienced vivid visions.
Wait a minute. You entered the temple?
Well, yes, we did. And we found the pyramid from my visions. But I was too weak. I was unable to solve the mystery of its entrance. I failed there. I always wanted to understand why. So upon my return...
You rebuilt this final part according to your visions and...
Nothing. But I'm dying, and at least my son will see that I did my best to complete my life's work.
Alrighty. Mario can try the Albits. sun. Puzzle to beat the model. His visions with... Where is it? There it is. What is necessary for Albert to enter the pyramid order to construct this model? He can only build the final model, the final pyramid, if it's end.
Thank you again for saving me.
Our assailant escaped using this rope.
The rope? Albeit son. Small child, another son claimed to be a murderer. Albert's lying about son. I bet it could be on someone.
Thank you again.
So what do we have? So I had to break into the office tonight and find out the truth about the temple. Maybe at the club we can do that? We like ask Charles about it. Might tell us something. I wonder what we're going to discover about the statue, though. It seems to be that like parts of the statue are in Marley's office. This is why we want to go back there at night.
A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation. I heard that Zacharias was killed by the statue's spear.
Now they did mention the globe that's over here.
Some bits are missing. Some bits are missing. Some bits are missing.
I was thinking the pyramid like fits into there, but I guess not. And we can't talk to him.
A murder at my club.
So he's not giving us anything. Well, maybe we can advance it tonight and break into Marley's place now.
A live killer statue. It's impossible.
A map of London and its surroundings. Could be useful.
No, I guess we didn't have to come back here. Alright, if I click on the foundry, will it make it nighttime? Otherwise, I'd have to guess that I missed something back in, Albiet's house.
Watson, stay alert, and you'll need to be quiet.
Lockpicking. Not that one. There we go. Now we have 2 layers on our locks. First case, we just had like 1 layer.
Horse of Pedro Alvarado. He was a conquistador, I believe.
Mystery solved in
This
time.
door is securely locked. I must find another way.
Oh, complicated.
Others might see nothing here but fence, but there is more to it than that.
Because you can climb it?
I can't move it in this direction.
I'm guessing the goal is to move this over there.
I can't move it in this direction.
Yeah, because it seems like moving it there is not going to be helpful.
I need a clear path.
And we'll move in this too. I feel like I'm supposed to, if I put it all the way to the end. Oh, wait. There, right? Like, use it to climb across? No? Unless I have to be on the other side.
I can't move it any further, otherwise
Oh, that's connected to... I didn't even notice that one. So now I'm up.
The balcony door's open.
No, maybe I meant to move this over somewhere. I feel like I meant to get to the middle somehow. So I don't use that to get across. Yeah, it just has two positions, either all the way up or all the way down. Oh. I wasn't supposed to move this. And then I'll have to move it back. I was getting ahead of myself. Now Holmes walks across the cave. Really can walk to the middle path. That's how you do it. There you go, Watson. Pull that lever. And now we go over here. Drop this, and Holmes will walk across.
No, This lever won't help.
Oh, I see. Right. Since it's been dropped, it'll have the same height, so just push back. It seems like when they made this game, they wanted it to be more, wanted to have more puzzles and like gameplay than investigation. This isn't a bad thing. I'm just knowing that's like a big difference from Crime and Punishment. Small brain? No, I was too big brain. I was too big brain, and I moved these stack of boxes before I was supposed to move them. So now it's like taking more time, so I like had to push them back and now go forward again. I just saw there was a thing that you could do, so I went ahead and did it. And now I've also got to move this again. It's almost playing Stardew. I need to like take that off because I know you can see it. And now we're on the middle. Oh shit. I'm looking at the wrong ones. Okay. Ooh. Keeping the balance, keeping the balance. It's like a Sith Lord. Keep the balance. I'll say again, I do like this particular mechanic to keep balance in the game. Like using the keyboard of your left hand, mouse in the right hand. There we go.
If only I had access to a free chain.
Also, hello Rohan. Top of the morning to you. Fancy some chicken nandos with the lads? What if you use your mouse with your left hand and keyboard with your right? Then would you not? I suppose in that scenario you probably wouldn't like it then. Oh, look at that. We're swinging. Back and forth. Okay, is this one really necessary though? I have to ask that. Like, the balancing thing I can understand. I know, I can't believe we're playing the pirate minigame here. I kept pressing those swing forward there. I do like that the game does include to skip it, and if you just like get pissed off and you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to skip this. do have my... Yeah, I am on the right keys. Riveting gameplay. We're gonna do it. Almost there. Jump, you can totally make that, Sherlock. God damn it. Hey. Enough, close enough. We're so close. Come on. Why won't it go? God damn it. Oh, you're... You're supposed to mash. You're supposed to mash the button. It would be nice if they would say that. I'm just sitting here, like, holding it down.
I'm here. Can you let me in?
Look, I got an achievement for that, though, okay? It was worth it. Missing dagger?
Obviously for a dagger. Mayan period, I think.
Oh, he might. Goes the missing dagger, eh?
There's a recurring theme
That was like some weird
connects all of
Australian
these
accent.
Marley is obviously an avid student of mechanics.
Pyramid.
The Mayan pyramid.
Oh, you can run up the pyramid. We may not be able to pet the dog in this investigation, but you can run up the Mayan pyramid. Watson, get in here, you fucker. Alright, there's gotta be more on his desk, right? The desk of secrets. Or not.
There's a recurring theme that connects all of these sculptures.
Oh, maybe I'm actually supposed to go grab Watson.
We need to hurry and find out what Mr. Marley is hiding.
Or not. Can our Sherlock Holmes vision give us any insight? Oh, here we go.
A slot. It appears to be part of some mechanism.
I'll need a dagger to work the mechanism.
Forge a Mayan dagger. Okay. I guess we're going to forge a Mayan dagger. I grabbed the... Yeah, I think I grabbed it. Okay. I know the forge is like over here. Oh, we're playing Rhythm Heaven. Beefed it. Did it work?
I hope this dagger fits.
I don't know, how many games do you get to like forward your own? You probably could do that in a lot of games actually. How many Sherlock Holmes games do you get to do this? It worked. Oh, secret room, secret compartment. But you hide him, Marley.
Another statue of Takunu Man. Locked. Locked. Locked.
Lock.
It can move, but a part of the mechanism.
Aha.
Be careful, Watson.
I called it, right? I
unless
called
you
it. The
want to be
statues
speared by
move.
Takunu Man. Marley dismantled these alarm clocks for their parts.
So he was using mechanisms you'd find like alarm clocks and such to help move them. That's all 3 levels of height. Oh, he's a big boy. Small one? Basic Gears? Listen, I've never played Gears of War. This isn't my area of expertise. This is the thing too? What do you do with this? You like tie it? Wait, what happens if we put the big boy here again? Different layers. Okay, I see it now. So does that work? Okay, that's moving that one now. But I won't be able to get this one to move.
The chain doesn't fit here.
Maybe two of these. Well, then this one's still not high enough. Hold up. Oh, I thought that could have been it. That's not going to be it either, though. Is it? No.
The chain doesn't fit here.
So how do I get that one tall enough, though? Assuming that would be the correct thing to do. I think that's correct. See how the chain works? It doesn't let me place it until I actually put it in the right place, it seems.
The chain doesn't fit here.
If there's something else the chain clicks on, I don't see it. Does this work?
The chain doesn't fit here.
It looks like it needs to be a tiny piece that gets up here anyway. Okay, so the chain can only go on these pieces. Okay, let's see. You're on layer 1.
The chain doesn't fit here.
It's right layers, right? Okay, so that's 2. They're both on 2. Okay, so on the same layer. Okay, now I'm getting somewhere. Alright, so this again. Okay. Okay, they're both on layer 1. This gives us layer 2. Which means the chain can go between these two. Oh, dude, suck my dick. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too big brain here. I mean, do they have to be on the same layer? Okay, that makes them both 2 layers.
The chain.
Unless, and it just can't go that way. It has to be like.
The chain doesn't fit here.
Okay, so that's moving that.
The chain doesn't fit here.
So that might. The gear first.
The chain doesn't fit here.
have two things swapped. Oh, what if? Wait, what if? Wait, what about tiny at the bottom? Wait, no. What about you at the bottom? No, I need it. Because we need a tiny one at the bottom to rotate this one. I hope you're all enjoying watching me have a little clue as to how gears work. So that works for that. So that's layer 3. How do I get... Wait. Hold up. Not that one? My top right second layer. Wait, that instead? So you're saying here, this second layer needs the chain? Wait. The chain can connect?
The chain doesn't fit here.
Wait, can a chain connect, like, in the middle? Like, between two gears? Oh. I didn't realize that was, like, legal. Okay, I didn't realize, like, the chain could be, like, in the middle of, like, two gears. I thought it had to be on the top layer. Thank you, Rohan. We did it! How long did that take anyway? I feel like we're on that for at least like 15 minutes. Enjoy your shower, Rohan.
It's closed.
Anyway, yeah, we just gotta prove that these statues can fucking throw a spear hard enough to probably kill someone. See, I'm gonna highlight that. I'm going to highlight that and send that to like everyone I know who's like an engineer or something. Just because like it's going to destroy them.
This globe has space inside. So, Bernard Marley built a mechanical globe.
Aha, so the globe back at the club can be opened like that. Perhaps that's where our key is?
We need to hurry.
It's...
What kind of goodies do we get? I know I am the chosen one. The Kunoman wants to use me for his purpose. Oh God, protect me. I don't want to die.
This part is in solid gold. It's worth a fortune. The statue is in 3 parts. Only the gold is original. Marley must have reconstructed the other 2. A piece of a map in metal. This object evidently connects to something else.
That connects back to the globe.
It's almost daylight. The workers will be here soon. It's time to leave.
And we can do more brain blasting. The club said Tucumán was an automaton. No, it definitely was. So the son is innocent. Search saw Bruno Mars' automatic run away on the morning of the murder. Yes. So now we're getting into Marley potentially being the culprit. Bruno Mars truly believes he is the chosen one to do the curse's bidding. Bernard Marley is guilty. Interesting. We still haven't found the truth about the temple. Find a use, find a use. That would be back at the clubhouse. We'll use those. And figure out what is inside that. Because both of those look like the 2 missing pieces that were on the globe that we saw before. I think the pyramid is the one that goes over like the Guatemala area, and then that other piece goes over. That other bit was missing. Is it next morning? Someone else is dead. Plot twist. Can I talk to you? Nope.
I heard that Zacharias was killed by the statue's spear.
Why won't the police say anything?
Oh. It's doing a thing. And now we can place the pyramid in here, right? Am I gonna like play Marley in the pyramid now? This is only the second case too. I feel like it's pretty wild. And now we have to... Oh. I think I died. Sherlock vision? I think it's probably the path of like the Mayan calendar that we had that I can't look at, or that on this far wall. Crossed swords next. Wait, what am I standing on? Okay, I can only... Okay, well, I think this is, you can only walk on the one that matches the symbol, right? So like this matches the symbol, I can walk on it. And see that? I can walk on... I can't walk on that one, but I can walk on this one. See, sometimes I'm smart. Means I can walk on you, I can walk on you, and I can walk on you. Sweet, dead end. Okay, I can walk on you. I can't walk on either of those, though. Alright, but now we can figure this out. That's not that, is it? No. So this way is a dead end. I have killed Sherlock Holmes so many times in this game. And walk on that one. You can walk on this little bell bread looking thing. You can walk on the fishy. Can't walk on that. Alright, goes on here too. Wave looking thing. Snakies. Probably dead end as well. Yep. And next is that looking thing, so we can walk over here. Is that the, that's not that. can walk on you. Walk on you. You can walk on all of these. Oh, wait, alright, yeah, we can walk on that. Did it. Next puzzle. Monkey. This case is about, someone was stabbed in the chest via a spear, and we're basically trying to figure out, what the hell's going on, and who did it, and why they did it. And it looked to be like something about, like, maybe someone was murdering someone for, like, basically getting, money for their, like, for this case, I mean, for, like, debts to pay for this club. But then it just started getting more and more intense. I also did have the option to, like, end this case, like, 2 hours ago if I wanted to. Okay, so we're trying to get through to here. I basically just convicted Sir Charles, who owns the club that I mentioned. But it looks like it's actually a lot more in-depth than that. I think this is just like how much it moves, like, per go. So what, now I just wanted to be one? Yeah, so that spins it around. Well, I thought that was on the opposite side. I'm just gonna skip this one. We get it, I'm gonna be like spinning things around, flipping it like 180 and doing like smaller flips here and there. Cutscene. Boulder. Indiana Jones. I think I once again killed Sherlock Holmes. There we go. Oh, there's multiple ones. Oh, no, it comes back. Also, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Okay, that was kind of cool. Tiny. Oh, hello. It's got a wall there. Look, is it a Varlden stream without some dying? Oh! Wall. Can we walk here? We can walk here. I like how we're just like casually walking while there's like a fucking wall trying to kill us. What? Dude, there can be a dead end? What is that bullshit? Also, hi Tuka. I'm trying not to die, but thank you for the raid. Oh! Hit. Oh! Dead end. Also, Tyus, hi. Thank you very much for the resubscribing. Appreciate that very much. 8 months. Wow. 8 whole heckin' months. One more month. Until we have that legendary sub baby that everyone always says every time it's 9 months. How's your stream though, Tuka? How'd it go? Did you get a PB or anything like that? Oh, no. Oh, nope. No, boulder dash. Okay. So it's like over on this side. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I've killed Sherlock Holmes like I don't know, like 30 times in this case already. Got a PB in columns. Yo, let's go Tyus. I mean, let's go Tuca. But also, let's go you two. Both you, I will clap for. Yeah, if you're not following Tuca, you should go follow Tuca. It'll be a pretty pog champion of you to do that. Yeah, okay, so this case, Too Long didn't read. Someone got stabbed with a spear through their back. Basically, like, through their heart. And someone saw, like, a statue pop off of its pedestal and then run off away from the scene. And they thought there was, like, a curse going on, and, like, this ancient, like, Mayan god, or, like, Mayan king is doing some, like, revenge stuff on them. We've done a lot of investigating. There's this guy that is paranoid, thinks the curse is real, and apparently is making statues with mechanisms that can actually, like, hunt and kill people. Or, like, at least they can move a little bit and do stuff like throw spears. And right now this is like a thinking sequence where we're actually just like looking at a model of a puzzle and Sherlock is like solving it in his head or something. What's that mean? Oh, that's what that means. And that's gas. So yeah, I've died multiple times in this tunnel. Or, yeah, doing this puzzle. Okay, apparently somehow I'm supposed to know the ones that gas you. Okay, I was definitely far away enough from that one. Just, like, cover your nose, and you won't die. Sometimes Sherlock Holmes isn't too bright. Oh, the other one got me. Okay, I guess we're not going that way. Oh, do the torches? Are the torches where you're supposed to go? Okay, the torches aren't where you're supposed to go. Follow the tree branches? Don't follow the tree branches? I also don't know if I'm being extremely one-head or not, but, like, sometimes I don't, like, catch on to what exactly you're supposed to be doing. Like, that one going off, I don't know how I'm supposed to tell the difference. Like, which ones are going to spray you and which ones aren't. Not to pass the tree branches? God damn it. This is confusing. I know I went this way, right? Okay, if anyone caught on to how you're supposed to know which of the pyramids were, which of the columns were safe or not, feel free to let me know. If not, I'm probably gonna look it up myself. The first case I beat in about 2.5 hours, by the way. So this one has been like an hour longer. Notably, many more areas where you basically fail, though. Or, like, you can't fail. You know, just, like, missing something to investigate. Nothing that way. Am I supposed to just do this really fast? Okay, you're just supposed to do that really fast. Easy. Okay, I think we made it to the end finally. Indiana Jones and the Devil's Daughter should be the name of this game.
The treasure of Tukunuma.
The treasure.
This is the statuette that Bernard Marley, Sir Charles, and Zacharias all shared.
So they all took a bit of the statue.
No keyhole or handle. It must be. The calendar. It was here. So Zacharias, Sir Charles, and Marley have all known about this from the beginning. This is the...
So it should be the pattern that I can't get to. Like on the back of the calendar, there's the it's like the symbols. There's 16 of them. And oh, there's only 10 here. Well, that's one way to die. So one... 2. Three. Four. And the single line, I think, is meant to represent 5. So this should be 5. Then 5 with 1 dot. Or line with 1 dot. So this one. Line with 2 dots. Line with 3 dots. Line with 4 dots. And line, 2 lines. Look, big brain that time. That's how he lost his hand. I think. Yeah, that's how he lost his hand. Oh, shit. Or like it got infected and they cut it off at some point. Because, you know, it was infected and they couldn't save it. Achievement unlocked. Phantasmagorical journey. Just like Phasmophobia. Yeah, that was a case. Also me being extremely one-head. Truth about the temple complete. Albeit was left behind. He blames his expedition members for his fate. He seeks revenge. He might adopt a curse to his end. Maybe blaming people. No, albeit does seem to believe in it. No, I still think he does know of the curse. Now we know that's true. Oh, do we have anything left to do in the case? Oh. Nope. Right, so his lies, I think that's right. Had the opportunity. I want to see what else we can get though, because there has to be like another possibility. False statement, no automation. He's the killer, took advantage of the critters, or to kill the character. Action. No, it's the same thing that we came to. What if we do Albiet's truth? And he had bitterness. Suspect is small. Unaware. Albiet is guilty. Using the dull with small stature as a killer, as he would his people to believe that a cursed kill is like a great stroke. And alert. I'll be killed for revenge of an accomplice of short stature to both go to prison. I don't know, I don't think Albiet's the one that did it. But like it also does, it's like we don't know, like the whole like statue that was in the apartment in his house. I don't know. I still kind of want to go with Bernard, because like why else would he make the statues be like, make them, you know, it's like it would have to be the two of them together. I'm gonna go with Bernard. But I think we can absolve him. We'll go with that. Interesting case, to say the least. I liked it.
What's happened? Did someone else die? Did Tekunuman strike again?
Tekunuman has been avenged, Mr. Marley. It's over now. The fear is over. You have only to follow us.
Follow you? But why?
Don't worry, you're not responsible. There are specialists who will take care of you. They will help you.
No, I'm not crazy. No, it's you who's the lunatic.
When Armar is insane, he had no true comprehension of the crime he committed. He needs to be treated accordingly in a sanatorium. 5% of people made the same moral choice. Is that it then? Oh, that can't be it then. Absolving him is not... Is it albeit then? Or maybe it is right and it's just Sir Charles was just doing shit. No, I'm gonna go with albeit using a person of small stature. Maybe he's like lying to us about his kid not being involved or whatever. The game does have a bit of loading times at times. Yeah, we'll be going with that option then. I'll check it, but I'll like seal in albeit did it. But I feel like I'd be like, you could be lying. Like, maybe he was just lying about not remembering what happened. I guess I just want it to be something more, yeah, I don't know. I'd probably absolve Albia too, to be honest, for like all of that shit. It seems like Charles would. So like the thing is too, like if you pick Charles, you could have like ended the case like an hour and a half ago. So you would have just like gotten a bunch of background for everything, but like the end result would still be that Charles was the bad guy. Everything we did here seemed to like give a reason for why Albia would like be the murderer in this case. And basically, it would just be a case of revenge. And I feel like it's kind of understandable why Albeit would be pissed. Kind of just fucked up his life, really.
Mr. Albeit. Oh, you're here with your son.
Yes, obviously.
No.
We have to talk with you.
Why is he hiding his face? Their face.
I see. Gulliver, go across the road to Mrs. James. This is an adult conversation.
Hold on just 1 second, please.
It's going to be a person. It's just going to be a tiny person. Hold it.
A pygmy?
As I suspected. Albeit brought him back from Brazil. You were both slaves there and you escaped together, am I correct?
You are. We are companions from life to death. He's more like a brother to me.
So he's the murderer?
But he was merely obeying his master.
Yes, I'm the one who planned the murder. I'm the one responsible.
You wanted them to pay for what they did to you.
True. Now I don't care what happens to me. I'll be dead soon. But Gulliver, you have to let him go.
I wasn't planning to arrest you, only that we might know the truth. Although I regret that Gulliver must leave England and return to his own country.
Shame. But thank you, Mr. Holmes.
16% of people made the same moral choice. I wonder if most people decided to arrest them anyway. His life was ruined by greed and cowardice of his fellow expedition members. He succumbed to illness and lost a limb. His accomplice assistant, albeit in his quest to justice, could be allowed to remain. Yeah. Yep. And for me, morally, I feel like that's alright, given what happened. And hey, case 2, done. Just a little bit shy of 4 hours. I think one thing's for certain, I'm probably going to get more time out of this game, assuming all the other ones are roughly around the same length, because there's 3 more cases. But yeah, this is going to be the last case, and this will be the end of the stream. We're just going to let whatever little beginning cutscene happens play, and ending it. And we will be continuing tomorrow, starting sometime roughly around 3:30 Eastern time. I did see a thing that talked about loading times. But for the most part, loading times weren't too bad, but I guess as you get further into the game, they maybe start taking a while. It's kind of weird that like you can't like, I don't know, like after I finish the case, just have to go back to like the menu or something. And it kind of forces you to go forward. Let's see. Or we can just do this. That should work.